FIFA HD, and welcome back to yet another episode of my skill move tutorial series where I show you how, where and when to perform a skill move in FIFA 21. Today we are learning the 3-touch roulette, brought to you in FIFA 19 I believe it was, or even last year in FIFA 20, I can't quite remember. But quite an overpowered skill move, great for switching the play and getting into those angles to make a better pass and actually have a shot. It's quite easy to make plays with this skill move. So without further ado, let's get into the gameplay, not gameplay, intro, and let's get into how to perform, how to perform a skill move, or the 3-touch roulette in FIFA 21.
Griezmann, 3 men around him, but somehow finds some space. Ronaldo, fantastic, opening the drive back.
On the ball. He's made
Look at this, just control. The control displayed there is absolutely ridiculous. The Elastico on the goal line. The finest.
We talked about Aussie FIFA. He's not here to make up the numbers.
Moving into how you perform the 3-touch roulette. It's quite simple once you get the angles right, as I say in every episode with your skill move tutorials. Once you get the angles right, it's quite easy to perform. What you will need is the L2 button and the right analog stick. And essentially the way you perform this, as you're seeing up in front of your screen, what I'm doing is I'm holding down L2, I am then pulling back to where the player is facing, and then either flicking left or right to where the player is facing. So if we're talking degrees, depending on where the player is facing, you need to flick it back, which is 180 degrees, or sits o'clock on the clock, okay? And then you need to put it to 90 degrees or 270 degrees, so back and then left or right. So 90, 270, or if we're talking from a clock perspective, 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You need to use the right analog stick to flick back and then left or right to where the player is facing. And what he will do is do a complete turnaround. And it's almost like a 3-touch drag back, if you know what I mean. The drag back, obviously the purpose of it is to go the other direction and to face the opposite way. This is the same, okay? It's similar also to the feint forward and turn, which is a new skill move to FIFA 21. If you haven't yet seen that tutorial, it's in or on my channel, so be sure to check that out. But essentially with the 3-touch roulette, it's turning all the way around with the player, and you can get into a better angle. You can also use this to take the ball away from your opponent. So again, it's almost like a ball roll as well. Obviously, you know the ball roll is really useful for taking the ball away from the opponent and keeping it. 3-touch roulette is once again useful for this. So without further ado, let's get into the next segment, which is where you should use this skill move. To where you should use this skill move. To be quite honest with you, I have been using it for quite some time, over the last week or so. In FIFA 21, the best place to use this is out on the wing. Okay, and I have found this. In the midfield, I haven't found it as useful, nor have I found it's as useful in the box. I haven't really found it's the greatest skill move to use, although you can use it in certain situations. Let me just tell you that. But essentially, in FIFA 21, the best place to use this skill move is on the wing. And the reason why I say this is because when you're going down the wing but your opponent is covering obviously your attacker with his defender, he is covering you, what you can do with the skill move, the 3-touch roulette, is essentially recycle the ball. So in FIFA, especially a lot of the pros know how to do this as well. Recycling the ball basically means taking the ball from the wing and bringing it back around to where the space is on the other side. That's what it is, called recycling the ball in FIFA. And essentially this is very good skill move to use to do this, and bringing the ball around the opposite way. So I have found that the best place to use this is on the wing. But don't get me wrong, you can use this in the box. You can still use this also in the midfield. And let's see when you should use this skill move in FIFA 21. Moving into when you should use this skill move. I have found that when you're side by side with your opponent and he is defending, once you're side by side with him, you can use this skill move to get the ball away from him, to keep it away from him, to stop him making a tackle. It's very, very good. Like the ball roll, as I said before. It's very good for keeping the ball away from your opponent and essentially recycling the ball, or indeed switching the play. It's a really, really good skill move to use at the time when you want to switch the play. That's what I have to stress to you guys. You can use it to switch the play. It's very good for that. And as I was saying in the previous segment, recycling the ball around to where the ball is, where the space is on the other side of the pitch, to obviously score a goal. And I do score a lot of goals that way. and that's how I actually do play, is I take the ball out to the wing and then bring it back around to where the space is on the inside of the pitch. Essentially, another time to use this is obviously when your opponent is about to make a tackle, and this is very good to keep the ball away from him once again and recycle the ball. You can use this to get a better angle, obviously, if and I have found that you can use this also when at the time of the goalkeeper, when he comes out, and if you want to sweat it across to the other player but there is a defender in the road, you can use this skill move to recircle around, make him face the other way, and then sweat it across to score a goal. But that's just another sort of time of the game when you should use it. Other than that, I have found it's quite useful. It's quite simple, and once you get it down pat and implement it into your game, it's yet another skill move you guys can use to get you out of trouble in FIFA 21, which is what I like about it, is it does get you out of trouble and keeps the ball instead of it obviously being tackled away from you. But that will signal the end of the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description down below. Most importantly, I do keep in contact with you guys over there, and I do post when I'm about to upload a new episode, so be sure to keep touch over there. Also hit the like button on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you ever so much for watching and yet another episode, guys. I'm out. Most importantly, you guys have a good day and peace.